Okay, so let's dive into this cookbook. It promises to completely change how you think about dairy-free desserts. We're going to break down the key techniques and, the real secrets that turn simple plant-based ingredients into something absolutely incredible. Right from the start, the book makes this incredibly bold promise. And honestly, it's a big one. It's talking directly to anyone who's ever been let down by a bland, icy pint of non-dairy ice cream. We've not been there, right? So this is the big question, isn't it? How do you actually make that happen? This is the core problem the cookbook sets out to solve. And spoiler alert, it's not just about swapping ingredients, it's about a whole new way of thinking about frozen treats. All right, let's start with the big idea behind these game-changing recipes. What is it that makes this method so wildly different from everything you've tried before? But what's so fascinating here is that the secret weapon isn't some obscure ingredient. It's the technology itself. The book explains that this machine's unique power is almost perfectly designed to handle things like oat milk and coconut cream, which, as you know, behave way differently than dairy. So what is it about this machine, really? What makes it the key to finally cracking the dairy-free code? Well, it all comes down to the process. And this right here is the fundamental difference. See, traditional ice cream makers, they churn a cold liquid, basically fighting to keep big ice crystals from forming. The creamy does the exact opposite. It freezes the base solid first, and then it uses this super powerful blade to shave and obliterate those ice crystals into something so fine it feels incredibly smooth. Okay, now what I really love is how the book boils all of this down to a few simple but absolutely crucial rules. It's not complicated at all, but you gotta trust the process. This, right here, might be the most important takeaway. Following this simple three-step process is the secret to avoiding that icy texture. And seriously, no shortcuts on the freeze time. 24 hours means 24 hours. It makes all the difference. And that brings us to rule number 3, the respin button, it's your best friend. It is not a sign that you did something wrong. The book really emphasizes that. Because plant-based ingredients have a different fat structure, they just need a couple more spins to get perfectly creamy. It's a totally normal and necessary step. And here's a brilliant little cheat sheet the book offers. It shows you the simple, high-impact swaps for creating that rich, creamy texture we're all after. It's all about using the right kind of plant-based fats and milks to mimic what dairy does so well. Okay, so once you've got the technique down, this is where the real fun begins. Let's talk about the recipes, because this is where all that science turns into magic. The book is organized into all these different categories, and as you can see, it's way more than just your standard ice cream. We're talking everything from healthy, protein-packed treats and smoothie bowls to rich, decadent Italian-style gelatos. And the flavor combinations, they are just next level. You'll find these really sophisticated and unexpected recipes. I mean, roasted strawberry balsamic gelato, that sounds like something you'd get at a fancy gourmet scoop shop. And it's not just the creamy stuff that gets the gourmet treatment. The sorbets are elevated too. This dark cherry balsamic sorbet, for example, uses aged vinegar to add this amazing, complex sweetness that really makes the cherries pop. You'll also find these really unique flavors inspired by cuisines from around the world, like this tahini date gelato. It's got that nutty tahini balanced with the natural caramel-like sweetness of medjool dates. Just incredible. And of course, don't worry, the cookbook doesn't forget the classics we all love. It delivers these unbelievable dairy-free versions of nostalgic desserts, like this Banana Foster ice cream. You get all that caramelized banana and warm spice flavor, but totally plant-based. All right, I know what you might be thinking. All these options sound amazing, but where do you even start? Well, the book makes getting that first perfect scoop really, really easy. Just take a look at this foundational recipe for a classic vanilla. It's just a handful of simple ingredients. You've got your oat milk and full-fat coconut cream for that perfect base, a little maple syrup for sweetness, and of course, vanilla and a pinch of salt to make all the flavors sing. This right here is the starting point for so many other flavors. And remember, that simple vanilla is just your launch pad. The cookbook is packed with 48 fully tested, perfected dairy-free recipes. So once you nail the basics, there is a massive world of flavor just waiting for you to explore. So here's the bottom line. The big takeaway from all this is that you do not have to settle for sad, icy desserts ever again. With the right machine and, more importantly, the right techniques, creamy, delicious plant-based frozen desserts aren't just possible, they're actually pretty simple to make. Which, leaves us with one final and very exciting question. Now that you know that incredible, creamy, dairy-free dessert is totally within reach, what's the first dream dessert you're going to create?